besties, welcome to my channel. I am so excited to be kicking this channel off with a Q&A about my experience on Big Brother season 25 because girl, we got some stuff to get into, okay? I told you guys on Instagram to ask me anything, get nosy, get all in my business, and of course, y'all did. So let's see how many of these I can answer. Let's see how many I can answer. Let's see. Okay, so first question to kick us off is, what made you apply for Big Brother? Honestly, I grew up watching the show. Like, my mom is a super fan of all super fans. So I've always watched the show, always wanted a chance to go and compete. But honestly, your girl was working. Like, I spent a decade building my career in politics. So I never just had the time or the energy to actually apply to the show. And it wasn't until season 24, I was watching with my husband for the first time. And he was like, babe, I think you could do this. Like, you're literally the smartest person that I know. People love you. You're super funny. Like, all of the skills that you need to be successful in a game like Big Brother, you possess. Like, go and apply. He's the one that set up the tripod, the ring light, the camera, all of the things for me to do the audition tape. I literally did it in one take. I was like, I'm never gonna hear from these people again. Like, girl, I just submitted the audition tape and didn't think anything of it. And lo and behold, a few months later, I got the call. Yeah, I just couldn't say no. Okay, so next question. Did you have a strategy coming into the season? If so, what was it? Oh, I love this question. The answer is yes. Honestly, my strategy was to play the low-key, logical, long game. I wanted to minimize the targets on my back as much as possible. Like, I really do appreciate that y'all wanted me to play a more aggressive and out there in your face game. My strategy was to find a way to use my skills as someone who's great at strategy, someone who's great at analyzing, someone who's great at managing people and working amongst people, how to use those skills in a way that was non-threatening. But I'll be honest with y'all, playing the game of Big Brother is so much harder than you think. I came in like, oh yeah, girl, everybody's gonna love me. I'm super funny. Like, girl, I thought completely wrong. There's just so many variables in Big Brother that you can't account for. We fell short this time, but next time. Okay, so what was the first day / week like for you? Oh my God, girl, my nerves on premiere night were through the roof. Hence why I fall and bust my in the first 20 minutes. Like, I just had way too much energy, way too much adrenaline. You walk into the Big Brother house and it's immediately lights, camera, action. Like, honestly, from the time that you walk in the doors, the game is gaming. I remember on night one going up to the game room and me and Kirsten having this moment like, listen, we're final two, we're gonna do it. Like, literally from the moment that you step into the Big Brother house, the game is on. Just all of the things that you see on TV that are like quintessential to Big Brother, experiencing those in real time really just felt like, honestly, a dream come true. Week one started to get a little, started getting crazy in week one. But overall, premiere night, week one, everything was just like high energy and good vibes until it wasn't. Okay, so why was it so hard for you to trust anybody in the game? I don't know. I feel like this is a bit of a trick question. Honestly, me not trusting anybody in the game wasn't something that I struggled with. It was a conscious decision that I made. We're playing a game for $750,000 with a bunch of strangers in which I do not know. Truly, actually trusting my game in the hands of anybody else but myself, no, sister. But I think what you're really trying to ask is, why was it so hard for me to at least fake like I trusted some of the house guests in the game? And now that I'm out and I've had some time to think about this, I think that the default for me as an only child is to always lean on being independent and being self-sufficient. And I think that I leaned on that a little too much in a game like Big Brother, where isolation is dangerous and you definitely need people. Like everybody else, I was in like 5 alliances throughout the season. So there were times where I wanted to trust my alliance wholeheartedly, but there were just so many times where I felt like they were making the dumbest decisions. I'm like, why are we getting rid of all of our shields? There were just too many things that were happening, to which I was like, okay, I just don't find you all to be good decision makers in this moment. So there is no way that I can wholeheartedly navigate through this game trusting any of you, because all of the things that I see and that I know that can get us to the end of this game, y'all want to do the opposite of that. And I think after experiencing that week after week after week and going to my alliance and saying, hey, I don't think this is a good idea. Hey, I think we should do this instead of this. And then them being so gung-ho about doing the opposite, honestly, I think I just shut down and was like, okay, I can't trust in any of you. I cannot confide in any of you. And the last thing that I want to do is to have to depend on any of y'all. So yeah, probably not the best strategy, but it did feel like the right thing to do in the moment, if I'm being honest. Thoughts on the Luke situation? I'll keep this very brief. I was super disappointed when I found out that there was a racial slur that had been used amongst the group of men who were upstairs in the have-not room a couple days into our time in the Big Brother house. You all obviously don't see us have this conversation on camera, but there is a sit-down conversation that takes place in the living room, absent of Luke, of course, where all of the house guests are able to express to one another how they're feeling in the moment about the situation that had taken place. I stand up to make the point that, you know, there is an immense amount of sacrifice that all of us have to do just to be able to come and play this game, right? Like, so many of the house guests have children, have spouses, so many of us had to quit our jobs, leave our livelihoods or whatever it is to come and play this game. And I just don't think that it's fair to us to have to live amongst somebody who casually uses a racial slur. Like, I didn't leave my job, I didn't leave my husband, I didn't leave my home, I didn't leave my place of peace and comfort to come here and live amongst someone like that. So I do believe that production did the right thing by expelling Luke from the game, giving us tools and information offline to be able to navigate that situation and be able to navigate our relationships with one another in a way that was positive and allowed us to move forward without that creating a dark cloud over the season. Okay, so let's change the energy a little bit. Let's get back to happy moments. What did you struggle with the most in the game? Y'all, I am an introvert. Outside of being an only child who is used to having my own space and literally not having to share, think, or care about anybody else, my social battery has to be from Dollar Tree, girl, because when I tell you that it drains in like 10 minutes, I can only do 10 minutes of a whole bunch of talking to a whole bunch of people at a time. Then I need to remove myself and go and decompress. And you just do not have any moments to decompress in the Big Brother house. Like, there are always people around. From the time that you wake up and open your eyes, people are wanting to talk to you. And I used to be like, it is 8 o'clock in the morning. This can't wait until 10? Why are we whispering at 8 o'clock in the morning? Girl, I just, so many days where I just needed a moment of solitude, a moment of peace and quiet, especially in those first couple weeks when there were so many of us in the house. In addition to my social battery being trash, a lot of those silly little one-off conversations that we would have, I honestly used to feel like I was losing brain cells. Like, what's my favorite circular object? I'm sorry, what? Excuse me? Huh? What? The way that my brain was fried when I left the Big Brother house honestly needs to be studied, because what are we talking about right now? Like, girl, whoever worded this question, I'm gonna need to have a conversation with you on the side, because you just came for my neck and I really don't appreciate it. Explain your blind loyalty to the Brown Sugar Babes. Brown Sugar Babes was the very first alliance that I joined coming into the house. It was actually Kirsten who came to me week 1 and was like, I think that we should work with Mama Fee and Miss Cerie. And I was like, oh, 1,000%. I 100% agree. And at that time, all 4 of us agreed to work together and protect each other. Now, we didn't know at the time that Mama Fee and Kirsten would be on the block against one another. But eventually, Kirsten is evicted. Then we bring in Jared, and Brown Sugar Babes alliance is formed. There's just so much about our alliance that you all didn't really get to see, so I can understand why people are like, you should have known it wasn't the real thing. Now, I'm not gonna lie, there was one occasion where I was like, something in the water ain't right. I don't know if it was under Jared's HOH or Mama Fee's HOH. By the way, I do know that they were talking about evicting me under Mama Fee's HOH, and I was like, y'all ain't right. Y'all not right. I remember going up to the HOH room and I could hear Jared and Miss Cerie talking in the room. And I remember knocking on the door. They were like, come back, Mimi. And I was like, okay. And so I go down to the kitchen, and a few minutes later, I see Mama Fee walk up to the room and they let her in. Excuse me, Brown Sugar Babes, have y'all kicked me out of the alliance? What is happening right now? So yeah, I remember that moment, and I should have known. I wish I had a time machine. Oh, this moment. Who are you referring to when you said, I know they're all snakes, liars, and cowards? Everybody? That comment was rated E for everybody. That comment was a DEI initiative, okay? Anybody could get it at that point. Just called it like it was. How did you last 13 plus hours in the pressure cooker? Was there a strategy for that? When Kaiser comes up on the screen, I was like, oh, what? Anyway, my strategy was to do 2 things. 1, move as little as possible. In the first hour or 2, we had 3 house guests that were out, and each one of them had said that they didn't know that they had lifted their hand off the button, or they couldn't determine how much pressure was needed in order for the light to not go off. So in my mind, like, okay, you need to be statuesque. You need to stand here like the Statue of Liberty for as long as you can. And number 2 was to block out all of the noise. House guests were going around telling personal stories. People were telling jokes. Girl, I didn't crack a smile, bat an eyelash. I'm talking about I was standing like this. $750,000 US American dollars are on the line. I don't need to tell y'all no life stories. I don't need to crack a joke. I don't need to dance to rock. I don't need to do any of that. The flies out. I could have dropped the stink bomb in that damn pressure cooker and I would have been sitting there just like this. We had the funniest DRs of the season. Tell us about one that didn't make the edit. Oh girl, I already told y'all that there are so many hilarious DRs that y'all didn't get to see from me this season. The way that I went into the DR Zombie Week, once they officially announced the twist and Cam and Jerry came back in the house, I hit that button, went into the DR and went on a full-blown 20-minute rant. I know they're probably like, okay, another word out of her, we gonna get her ass out of here because I was hot. Like y'all, we have literally been here for weeks and there are still 10 people in this game. Like this is absurd. Every single time that we try to evict the strongest players in the game, y'all find a reason to bring them back and I'm really not understanding the psychology behind this. I don't get it. I don't understand. Please make it make sense to me, Mr. Big. Make it make sense. Your girl was on 10 that day. What was the most exciting moment for you? Oh, that's such a hard question because it's Big Brother. Like there are so many moments in the game that are exciting. And honestly, y'all, I absolutely had the time of my life. I know I spent a lot of time in the storage room complaining, talking about how I hated everybody and how I didn't think that they were that smart, but I did have an absolute time. The lockdown that we had in week 1 before there were any evictions, dance battle and all. Girl, all of us got up there and did a dance that we felt like best represented us. Y'all know I had to do a swag surf. Swag surf had everybody lit. Swag surf is just like the universal it's lit dance. Blue had a whole boom boom cack routine. Isom, oh my God, he had this burlesque moment, girl, where he, when I tell you, ripped his shirt like he was in Magic Mike. I was like, oh, okay, I think I can rock with y'all. Y'all are fun. This is lit. It's probably the most memorable for me. I feel like we were so innocent back then. Before there was any backstabbing, before there was any trash talking, it was just a whole bunch of strangers in a room together, excited to play Big Brother. I really do wish that y'all had the chance to see it because it was the cutest freaking thing. Okay, so let's wrap this up. Thank you guys so much for joining. Before you go, I want to thank every single one of you for all of the love, all of the support that you show me, not only during the season, but post BB25 as well. It honestly does mean so much to me. There's so many of you who I've gotten to meet and connect with, not just in real life, but also through my social media platforms as well. So thank you, thank you, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of the love and all of the support. I love you guys deeply and dearly. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video.